You must have noticed an interesting pattern emerging in the world today. Things are happening that would have been unimaginable in the late 2010s when political correctness first came to the internet. Saying something red pill related felt like breaking the law, but things seem to have changed. I mean, look at Andrew Tate and how he got famous so fast. Obviously, there are a ton of guys out there who like and agree with the message. You don't have such a massive fan following overnight. The only way to do that is by building on an existing movement and utilizing its fan base, and by God, red pillars are numbering in the millions now. Andrew Tate is not the only one. Now we have guys like Iman Gadzhi and Hamza, and many gurus popping up and preaching about female nature and masculinity. These are things that the gurus of old would never have imagined doing. Things have changed. The red pill movement has taken over a huge chunk of the internet, and more guys are adhering to its principles. Now, if you're a red pill veteran, you know that this was bound to happen. But for all the new guys out there and other watchers, let me explain why the red pill movement has been so effective internationally. The first reason is somewhat controversial since I've never seen somebody say that before, but I think it makes sense. Red pill only used to exist in the corners of the internet because it was primarily a Western movement. But now, the internet has become more and more accessible worldwide, and guys from all corners of the world are getting exposed to it. I think they've contributed greatly to the red pill movement. In the 2000s, only rich people outside of the West could afford computers and phones. Now we have guys from all walks of life coming up. These guys are coming from the bottom, and they understand what the movement preaches. They weren't born all blessed and rich, so they have a lot to relate to in this movement. Couple this with the fact that everyone in the third world isn't as insane as the West is when it comes to feminism, so they agree with our message. But even if we take this factor out, the biggest reason for the red pill's growth will always be one: its message is potent. It's a complete guide that makes sense to a lot of men out there. It's a movement rooted in reality. Everything about it comes from experience and a deeper understanding of evolutionary biology and human nature. It's not like feminism. It's not like the current transgender and other political movements. It makes sense. It's not trying to lead humanity somewhere that makes no sense for us, someplace that doesn't agree with our nature, and finally because it's relatable. That may explain why the world has become very feminine and women-centric. Whenever we think of support movements and pop culture movements, they're always dominated by females. Even with hobbies and pastimes we have made for ourselves, it's not masculine at all. Ask yourself, why spend your time watching shows, playing games, and reading books? There's nothing inherently masculine about these activities, and there's nothing wrong with enjoying them. However, in the past, men didn't spend all their free time on these pursuits. Men were defined by their thirst for adventure and teamwork. They liked to build and conquer. These crucial elements are missing in today's society. There are hardly any true mentors left, no pure, hardened, masculine men to be found. In every town, on every street, your grandfather was one of them. These men had experienced life, and their advice made sense. But now, these mentors are nowhere to be found. Instead, we have left-leaning intellectual counselors and PE instructors who can't even run a mile themselves. Besides focusing on studies and reading books all day, there's almost no emphasis on personal development. There's no motivation to adopt habits that bring men happiness. There's no guidance for young guys to learn and transition from boys to men. And the need for mentorship doesn't end with young guys. Even many older men out there are lost in life. Some guys find themselves stuck in relationships they don't want. Imagine a guy who cried in front of his girlfriend and she dumped him. He's furious and hurt, unable to understand how a woman who loved him for 3 years could do this to him. Then there are veterans who have lost their life savings through marriage, living in shoddy apartments, wondering why their lives took such a downhill turn. The red pill serves as a center for all these men. It's the ultimate bridge and mentor for men in the 21st century. It's a place for men who have learned the truth, who have understood the real nature of females and the modern legal system. They want to teach young guys, but more importantly, they want young guys to embrace their masculinity. Deep down, every young guy desires that, but he doesn't know how. Everywhere he's been told that traditional masculine traits are toxic and should not be embraced in the modern world, yet deep down he wants a place to vent his aggression and embrace his sexuality. The red pill teaches him how to do that. It will help him break free from his rut and focus on lifting himself up and taking care of himself. It encourages him to pursue a bigger purpose than simply fixating on women all day. Once he has accomplished all of that, he will learn about the true nature of women. We don't want to scare him or make him hate women. We want to let him know that no matter what women say, this is how they will really act. This is how they will truly treat you. This is how they will judge you. All of this is going to happen, so if you want to be successful with women, you need to understand what women really want. This understanding will prevent you from ending up like those guys who got burned by a woman. For guys who are already in a relationship, the red pill helps them become the dominant person and embrace their masculine side within the relationship. In a way, we are helping men realize their true potential and teaching them what they are capable of. That's our temporary goal. Another important aspect is to educate men about divorce laws, harassment cases, rape accusations, and jail time. Until we amass a large following, these are things every man must know to protect himself from falling victim to them. Today, the courts of law are heavily biased. A woman's word often carries more weight than a man's. All a woman needs to do to ruin a man's entire life and career is to accuse him of something he didn't do or cheat on her husband. In one simultaneous move, she can destroy both his heart and his financial situation, leaving him with nothing. These are real-life situations that have happened to men. We want to awaken men and let them know that this can happen to them too. It's important for men to be cautious and tread lightly. Until we have a significant following and gain political influence, we need to enlighten men about the realities of this world. We want men to understand how the world truly operates and what's wrong with the modern world. Today, Twitter and other platforms jump at the opportunity to normalize everything, making it difficult to discern what is even normal amidst this insanity. You can trust the red pill to provide you with the right guidance. Things that are deemed abnormal have reasons for being so. The degeneracy on the internet was stigmatized for a reason. If society as a whole fails to understand this, it's crucial that you do. You and every other young guy out there who wants to do something better with his life and make his ancestors proud. When there's a movie with a sane and rational message freely and easily accessible to every man, it's no surprise that it gains rapid popularity. Let's keep our fingers crossed and wait for the red pill to enter serious debates. Perhaps we can still make a change in the world through it and save the Western world from modern insanity. Thanks for the support, guys. That's it for today. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. Take care.